You're losing arguments you don't understand. She's upset about something. You have no idea what. You said something, it made it worse. Now you're sitting on the edge of the bed at 11 p.m., staring at the carpet like it's going to give you answers. It's not. The carpet doesn't know either. I've been there. The carpet and I have a history. I was you, genuinely. I was so bad at this that I used to think the problem was all women. Just as a category, fundamentally broken. Factory defect. Someone should issue a recall. Turns out I was the recall, partially. We were both losing, but I was losing in ways I didn't even have the vocabulary for yet. I was bringing a whiteboard to a feelings fight. Nobody wanted the whiteboard. Then I read a book, The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. Life changed. Relationship changed. I'm not the same guy. That guy was an idiot. I still have some idiot in me, but it's managed now. It's in an enclosure. If you're also an idiot, this is an easy fix. This is what I learned. Pay attention. I won't repeat myself. Actually, I will anytime you want because it's a YouTube video and you can rewind, but the point stands. First, the foundation. Because none of the rest of this makes sense without it, and I need you to actually absorb this before we go any further. So put your phone down. Not you, the other guy. You're fine. There are two wolves inside you. One is masculine, one is feminine. That's the whole bit. I'm not milking it, you've seen the meme, we're moving on. Everyone has both energies. Most men lean masculine, most women lean feminine. Feminine energy runs on connection, romance, beauty, feeling. Think candlelit dinners, emotional conversations at 1 a.m., crying at a movie that is statistically not sad enough to warrant that response. It's me, this is the Barbie movie, I'm Knuff. Masculine energy runs on mission, competition, building, achieving. Think lifting something heavy for no reason. The deep spiritual satisfaction of fixing something with your own hands. War documentaries. Any sport where someone might get hurt. Neither is better. Both are necessary. This isn't a hot take. This isn't controversial. This is just how the polls work. Once you get this, everything else clicks into place immediately. If it doesn't click, rewind it. If it still doesn't click, I genuinely don't know what to tell you. Maybe the wolves ate each other. Feed both wolves. Touch grass. We continue. Magnets. You know magnets. Opposite poles attract, same poles repel. This is not a take, this is physics. This was settled before either of us were born. If you slept through physics class, you probably also slept through whatever class teaches you not to argue with your girlfriend while she's crying. So we're starting from scratch. That's fine, we have time, I have a script. If you become a total pushover, agreeable, spineless, no edge, no opinion of your own, just a warm, sentient pile of yes, your woman has to become the strong one. And the second she becomes the strong one, that spark starts dying. Not because she's doing anything wrong, because you neutralize the polarity. You are now two same-end magnets sliding sadly across a table away from each other, and nobody in the room wants to watch that happen. Being masculine isn't a toxic trait. It is, in fact, precisely what she is attracted to. Being completely safe, inoffensive, and agreeable at all times is the slow, boring, completely self-inflicted death of desire. Keep your edge. It is doing more structural work in the relationship than you realize. Don't sand it off trying to be pleasant. Okay, I need you to hear this one correctly because it has been catastrophically misused by enough guys online that I have to do a disclaimer now, which I resent, but here we are. Deep breath, here it comes. Your goals are probably going to feel more important than your relationship most of the time. This is normal. This is fine. This does not mean, and I want to be very clear, that you should be a hermit who responds to texts 4 hours late because you were in the zone and couldn't possibly be interrupted for 2 minutes. That's not mission, that's avoidance, those are different things. What it actually means is this: if you had to choose between the best relationship of your life and accomplishing your most important goal, be honest, nobody's watching, it's just you and the carpet. Most guys are picking the goal. That's not a character flaw, that's just how you're built. Fighting that isn't noble, it just makes you a diluted version of yourself who's less fulfilled, less present, and quietly accumulating resentment he can't explain at dinner. And here's the part nobody talks about. If you abandon your direction to keep her happy, two things happen simultaneously. You start resenting her, and she loses respect for you, both at the same time. Nobody brings it up, it just quietly poisons everything for 8 months, and then comes out sideways during an argument about who forgot to buy dish soap. You've seen this movie. It's not a good movie. Don't be in it. She doesn't actually want to be your whole world. Even if she says she does, even if she absolutely believes she does, she wants to be an important part of a world you are out there actively building. There's a difference, and she can feel it. And she cannot always articulate why she feels it, but she feels it. Trust me on this one. That said, And this is the other side of the coin, so don't clip the last section out of context and use it to justify being a ghost. When you're with her, actually be with her. There's a time for your mission and a time for your woman. Finish the mission chunk, then show up. Not physically present while mentally running through tomorrow's to-do list like a man possessed. Actually there, in the room, in the conversation, in it. Because she will know if you are not. I cannot explain the mechanism. I've tried to reverse engineer it. You could be maintaining eye contact, nodding at appropriate intervals, saying, yeah, totally, with convincing timing, and she will look at you mid-sentence and go, you're not even listening right now. And she will be absolutely correct. It is a superpower. It is deployed exclusively against you. There is no counter except for just being present. Half presence is almost worse than just not being there. It's like getting a birthday card with someone else's name crossed out. Technically you got a card, the card was clearly for someone else though. No one feels good about this. Don't be the crossed out name card of boyfriends. Finish what you need to finish, then be there, fully. No asterisks, revolutionary concept. I know, I'm basically a philosopher. This one is subtle. It'll rot your relationship from the inside out, and it will feel the entire time like you're being a good partner. That's what makes it genuinely sinister. You're not even going to know it's happening. You'll just wake up one day completely hollow, vaguely resentful, and unsure of literally any of your own opinions. Been there. Cool journey, very fun. You start saying yes to things you don't mean. You start agreeing to avoid conflict. You start watching her face after you say something, just a quick little glance, to check if she's okay with it. I did this. I became a man who required external validation to confirm that his own thoughts were acceptable. I was essentially running my personality through a focus group of one. The focus group was not impressed. The focus group could sense something was off and couldn't explain why. The focus group started losing respect for the product. Short term, she gets what she wants. Long term, she resents you for being pliable. You resent her for making you compromise yourself, and you've both been quietly building a legal case against each other for 2 years that's going to come out sideways at a dinner party in front of people you barely know. Everyone loses. The dinner party is ruined. The Hendersons are never inviting you back. If she asks for something reasonable in a reasonable way, do it. Easy. That's called being a functional adult and a good boyfriend or husband or whatever. But if the ask is unreasonable, or she's asking for something reasonable while absolutely losing her mind about it, hold your ground, calmly, with love, like a man and not a golden retriever who just wants everyone to be happy and will eat literally anything. This is the one. This would have saved so many arguments, so many drives home in silence, so much time sitting in a parking lot eating a sub I didn't even want because I didn't know what else to do with my body. Women cycle through emotional states, like tides, like the moon, like your dad's internet connection. Unpredictable, occasionally infuriating, but ultimately operating according to a logic that has absolutely nothing to do with you personally. When she's in a mood, your instinct is going to be to fix it, diagnose it, open the hood, identify the faulty component, present your findings with a little PowerPoint if you have time. Do not do this. The PowerPoint will make it worse. Nothing about this situation calls for a PowerPoint. Here's what's happening. When she's emotional, the words coming out of her mouth are almost never the actual point. They're a transmission. They're a signal. She says, "You never listened to me," and you think she's filing a formal complaint that requires a formal response and possibly documentation. She's not. She's telling you that she doesn't feel close to you right now. That's it. That's the whole message. If you respond to the complaint instead of the feeling underneath it, you're going to be in the parking lot again. The subway closes at 10. 9 times out of 10, the problem is she doesn't feel loved right now. So be warm, be steady, be a little goofy. I don't care how much of a personal brand you've built around being stoic and serious. Make a stupid face, say something outrageous, do a bit. It works every time. I have never found an exception, and I've been running this experiment for about 4 years. If you want someone who says exactly what they mean, clearly and logically every single time, get a boyfriend. I mean it. That option exists. No feminine woman on planet Earth is going to be rational 100% of the time, and if that's a deal breaker for you, then you need to have a separate, quieter conversation with yourself about what you actually want out of life. Take your time. I'll be here. Once the storm passes, then you talk. Trying to problem solve mid-emotional storm is like trying to read a map while it's on fire. You're not getting anywhere until you put out the fire. The pushback, the nagging, the little emotional challenges scattered throughout your day like landmines someone forgot to label. Completely normal, not malicious. She is not sitting in a dark room planning this. I checked. It's unconscious. She doesn't even know she's doing it, which somehow makes it more impressive. Think of it like this. You know how sometimes you'll be walking and you randomly press on a wall to see if it's load-bearing? You don't know why you did it, you just needed to know the wall was solid. That's essentially what's happening here, except the wall is you, and the consequences of it not being load-bearing are considerably higher than a damaged wall. She wants to know you're solid, that you won't fold under a little pressure, that she can actually lean on you without you collapsing like a camping chair at a barbecue. You know the ones. The legs just splay out and suddenly someone's on the ground and the potato salad is completely gone. Don't be that chair. Be a real chair, load-bearing, 4 legs, and confident in your geometry. The correct response is to stay calm and grounded, not reactive, not a doormat, grounded. Every time you pass, she trusts you a little bit more. Every time you blow up and crumble, that trust takes structural damage. And trust, unlike drywall, does not patch easily, Kyle. She'll also pester you sometimes, just because she wants your attention. And this one isn't a test, it's just cute, so give her the attention, it takes like 4 seconds. When things get bad, and they will, repeatedly, for the rest of your life, this is what you signed up for. Welcome, here's your complimentary confusion. Move toward her, not away, not into an argument, not into that specific silence you've developed where you're technically present but have emotionally left the building like an Elvis impersonator who has somewhere better to be. Toward her, with presence, with love. I know how that sounds when you're standing there being held personally accountable for a tone of voice you used on a Tuesday in February that she has stored in a mental filing system so organized it would make a Swiss banker weep. I know you have a case. Your case is irrelevant. The courtroom is closed, and the judge is feeling something, and the something is not logic. She doesn't need you to win the argument. She needs to feel like you're not going anywhere, that you're solid, that the foundation isn't cracking just because there's some weather. Be the foundation. Foundations don't argue back. Foundations don't get defensive and start listing counterpoints. Foundations just hold the house up quietly and let the storm pass, and honestly, foundations have a lot figured out. Short section. Pay attention. If she seems chaotic, closed off, or miserable, before you look anywhere else, look at yourself first. Your energy sets the tone. She is, to a degree that will genuinely unsettle you once you actually clock it, reflecting you back at yourself. Which means if the vibe in your relationship is consistently awful, I have some difficult news about where that's originating. And that news is probably you, partially. More than you're comfortable admitting right now. That's fine. You're redeemable. I said so in the beginning, and I'm not walking that back. This is good news disguised as a mildly uncomfortable mirror. You have more influence than you think. You also have more responsibility than you think. Both things are true, and you don't get to have one without the other. Welcome to being a man. The coffee here is terrible. Stick around. Last thing. And don't skip this because you think it's soft. Tell her she's beautiful. Mean it. Appreciate her out loud. More than once a day. Not as a strategy, not because you read it in a book, not because you heard it in a YouTube video, because she's your girl, and she should know that you know that. Personalize everything. What I've given you here is a foundation, not a formula. Your woman is specific. Your relationship is specific. Pay attention to what actually makes her feel loved, and do that thing relentlessly, and without being weird about it. Being good to your woman isn't weakness. The mission, the edge, the presence, it's all infrastructure. It's so that when you turn towards her, there's actually something there worth turning toward. And get off the carpet. The carpet still doesn't have the answers. I checked.